Greetings, my viewers. This is Skylar Severico, and today I'm bringing you another episode of Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Shut up, Navi. Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and today we are cooking Link. Quite literally, it looks kind of like an oven. You can even see like the little heat waves coming up. What do you want, Navi? That cloud over Death Mountain. There is something strange about it. I mentioned this last episode actually, where for some reason Navi, had actually shut up for a while, so I couldn't make this appear appropriately. But yeah, that's what she says. There's the cloud over Death Mountain. There's something strange about it. Yeah, you don't say. Can we even like see from? No. Wow, that's just blackness up there. You can't see nothing. Where's even? Oh, there's the ladder. Yeah, you can't see anything. But anyway, so we are here at the entrance to the Fire Temple, and normally I like to start inside the dungeons, but today is a little special because there's something I want to address about this particular dungeon. Most of you who know a little bit, a bit about this game probably know what I'm going to talk about, and it's the actual temple theme. So I'm going to walk inside, and I'm going to let you listen for a little bit. May want to Can you hear yet? So it sounds like you can hear actual lyrics to the theme as I slowly rotate Link somehow. That's kind of funny. It kind of sounds like there's actual lyrics to the theme. And what that is, it's actually an Islamic chant. This is one of the main reasons of actually using this version of the game. Yeah, it's kind of it can be a little creepy when you're going through this hot place. Now here, listen a little bit. That's pretty much the end of it, and it just loops back around. So yeah, wait, is that? Oh no, that's not. So yeah, that's an Islamic chant. It gives a very strange vibe to the place. However, if you play any future iterations of the game, such as late gray cartridges, or the GameCube version, or the Virtual Console version, or the 3DS version, you will not hear this theme. As you can imagine, I want to be careful about what I say here, because I don't want to tread dangerous territory here. But The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time came out in the year 1998, which was 3 years before 9/11, and we kind of know how the general appearance of Muslims in general was after that point. I'm not trying to... Wow, shut up, computer. I'm not trying to say I have any negative opinions on Muslims in general, but I'm just trying to say the stereotype is strong, especially after 9/11, for unfair reasons. But anyway, and I'm also not saying that really had much of a reason as to why the song was taken out. I'm just saying it's a pretty strange coincidence, I'd say. But I didn't really do research for this, but I've come across a few videos on the subject, and it turns out that for Muslims, having a prayer set to music like this is actually very offensive to them. So I can kind of understand where they're coming from. I am not Muslim myself, so I don't want to try to say what's right and what's wrong. But basically, it was taken out because it was seen as offensive, and I just think it's to me, it's a very interesting story, just because they literally changed the feel of an entire dungeon just by doing this. So yeah, that you only find this in the gold cartridge, which is what I'm using, and also early gray cartridges, which I did have as a kid. I had a gray cartridge as a kid, and it did indeed have this theme. I know for sure because I remember it very distinctly. They replace it with a remix of a theme used in a later temple, and it has a similar. It's just not the same. But yeah, so I think I will stop explaining from here now and just keep going with the dungeon. Now that I said what I wanted to say about that, I just thought it was very interesting, and I'm trying to play this game, but I'm also trying to educate about it as well. So I thought it's a very big part of the changes made to this game. Like, I feel like there's a lot of changes made, and that's one of them. And I'm kind of like rubbing my wrist thing, so you might hear that noise. So I'm sorry about that. I shouldn't be doing that. As long, as well as the removal of the crescent moon symbol that you see in a lot of blocks and switches. It's in that same vein as trying to it wasn't even that Muslims were offended, because as far as I know, there weren't actually any complaints, but Nintendo only did it as a precautionary measure so that no one would get offended, if that makes any sense. So it's very interesting. But yeah, so I'm done with my little rant now, so I will just continue on with this dungeon. So yes, welcome to the Fire Temple. This is the only door we can open right now, so let's go in here. And who do we see? It's Darunia, as Skylar, the Goron, told us. He went to the Fire Temple, and here he is. Who's there? Is that you, Sky? I don't remember what voice I give this guy. It's been that long. It's been like 10 episodes. Oh, it really is Skylar. You've grown so big since I last saw you. I want to have a man-to-man talk. Do you? But now's not the time. Ganondorf is causing trouble on Death Mountain again. He has revived the evil ancient dragon Volvaginia. On top of that, he is going to feed my people to the evil dragon as a warning to other races that might resist him. For me, Daddy. If that fire-breathing dragon escapes from the mountain, all the Hyrule will become a burning wasteland. That sounds pretty hot. I will go on ahead and try to seal up the evil dragon. I'm concerned, though, because I don't have the legendary hammer, but I have no choice. Skylar, I'm asking you to do this as my sworn brother. Oh, you remember that? Well, I'm trying to deal with the dragon. Please save my people. Play me the song of your people. The prisoner's cells are in the opposite direction. I'm counting on you, Skylar. So one has to question how, if you look, there's actually that little lock on it. How did he get through that? And can you tell me how to do that without the boss key? Because that would make this dungeon so much easier. All right. So first off, we know Darunia is trying to seal away the dragon or whatnot. But he already told us a lie. He's like, the prisoner's cells are in the other direction, even though there's one right in this room. Little hiccup thing there on. And we just simply free him with the switch. Now let's talk to him. Not that we have to, but I will, just because why not? But you can totally ignore the Gorons. They just give you little hints, so that it might be helpful to you if you're a first-timer. Are you releasing me? Am I free to go? I'll tell you a secret for saving me. In order to get into the room where Darunia went, you have to do something about the pillar stuck in the ceiling. I like how he's just watching, just like, yeah, I'm gonna hang out in this cell, and like, don't get me out or anything. Like, Darunia could very easily have just pushed that switch himself and freed this guy, but he's like, nah, fuck that. Find a path that leads to a room above the ceiling right away. Oh yeah, right away. But immediately we roll and totally avoid the chest. Don't open it. We don't need what's inside. Sure we do. It's the key. I don't think there's anything else in here. I think this room is much more interesting in Master Quest, where they make you do like a puzzle and shit. I'm not even sure if there's any, oh. Well, okay, I'm just gonna be walking in lava now. Yeah, I'm not sure if there's even anything over there. It looks like there's a hook shot thing, and I'm not even sure why, but I don't care. Let's just move on. I've already wasted enough time talking about a stupid song. Causing concussions. Alright, so now so as I said, this dungeon as I said in the last episode, this dungeon is a little more linear than Forest Temple. we do have this big room, but we're not really going to be coming back to it very much. It's pretty much just this one time, and that's pretty much it for that. It is a pretty big room, though. There's a couple different ways we can go, but only one way will bring us forward to anywhere, long-lasting. I usually just start with this direction first, no particular reason. Yeah, and I just hurting myself. That's fine. I don't want to look. Okay, let's walk into this door here. Dark room. Oh, another Goron who's hidden in a cell. Let's see what this guy has to say. Are you releasing? Okay, am I free to go? Here's a secret for saving me. A wall that you can destroy with a Goron's special crop, meaning bombs, will sound different than a regular wall if you hit it with your sword. Yes, we figured that out about a year, well, actually 7 years ago we figured that out. I mentioned that way back in the Dongo's Cavern that you can strike your sword against a wall and it will sound different if it's bombable. So that's nothing new. What do you have? I think it's probably a key, right? It's a key, yeah. So we could go forward, but as we learned from the Forest Temple, it's probably best to explore all our options before unlocking a door. You will probably get stuck otherwise. There's a time block up there, and we can make it come down. This block can be a little touchy if you're not standing in quite the right place. So let's see if I guessed right. Yeah, there we go. Sometimes if you're standing too close, the block won't spawn because it'll be on top of you, and it's like, nah. So it's a little touchy, but sorry, no big deal. Let's open this door, see what's inside. Oh god, that's... Alright, we see a classic Zelda enemy here, the flying tiles. Just stand in one spot, hold up your shield until they all off themselves. I'm actually not sure how... I think this was first seen in A Link to the Past, and it was brought over to Link's Awakening. I don't think it was in Zelda 1, and it definitely wasn't in Zelda 2, because it was a side-scroller, so that really wouldn't have worked. And we also see the first appearance of the infamous Like. This bizarre-looking enemy, which I don't even want to say what it really actually kind of looks like. Never mind. So what it does is it will try to suck you up, and it is capable of eating your Hylian shield and any tunics that you're wearing other than your Kokiri tunic. So if this thing were to swallow me right now, it would eat my shield and my tunic, and the only way to get it back is if you defeat it in enough time. It takes 2 arrows, I think 2 sword strikes, or probably 1 jump slash. So you probably just want to... It's probably easiest if you try to attack them from a distance, because they have some invincibility frames, so it can be kind of hard to strike with your sword without getting eaten. We got a gold sculpture over here. We can backflip and get a nice ass shot, upskirt shot. And again, we have 5 in this dungeon, so that's 1 of 5. All the major dungeons now have 5. Just keeping that in mind. So now we're done over here. So let's make our way to the exact opposite side. These blocks can be a little funky. Some of them go up, some of them go down, some of them go left, some of them go right, and yeah. Could be a bit confusing in this room, but yeah, just make your way to the side while avoiding all the fire keys. Oh my god. Oh, that was so close. So close. And again, yeah, it makes that thuddy noise. Die, wall. You're my wonder wall. I'm sorry. And yet another Goron. So I think we're like done, right? We can leave now? No? Alright, fine. Are you... I don't need to hear that again. I'll tell you a secret for saving me. There are switches in this temple that you have to cut to activate, but you can also use the Goron's special crop to do the job. I think as a kid I found that expression, Goron's special crop, weird. I'm like, I'm not really sure what that means. I don't think I really knew what a crop was, that it related to something that grows. Maybe, I'm not really, I always thought it was a strange expression. So yeah, we have 2 keys, so this is a room we had to come into. So yeah, rule 1 of Ocarina of Time, don't unlock a door until you've explored every possibility, because you probably have more keys to get. But that's about as non-linear as this dungeon gets. Now it's pretty much just go from room to room. for the most part. I think I'm lying, so let's find out. Let's unlock the door. We have this lovely room here. I was like that little pose of him sliding down. This chain link wall is actually climbable, but you can take a little shortcut with the hook shot, just like with the vines. Climb up top, and you're gonna turn right around. You see some keys that you'll want to get rid of. Alright. Got this shooting flame and a block that we can push. Let you in. So let's just push blocks. Just pushing blocks is always a good idea, right? And time to defy physics, because that can totally happen. Yeah, see, if you just continued on, you would have been stuck without that key. Damn you. Okay. Here's a Goron here. Ooh, you can actually speak to him. Let's see what he says. Please don't eat me. If you eat something like me, you'll get a stomachache. I probably would. You'll be sorry. Yeah, I can probably bet. Oh, here's another new enemy. I think these are called torch slugs. Let me see. Yeah, torch slugs. When they fire on its back, it is extinguished or run away. It's right before it relights. You can basically just spam your sword at them, and I guess they intend for you to use the spin attack or something. I don't know why. They always drop magic for some reason. Oh, that was weird. Okay, just Link's like, nah, not feeling it today. That's fine. Yes, it is that. There's the crescent moon that I just mentioned a little while ago. That's been replaced in future versions of the game because it's an Islamic symbol. Yeah. Okay, there's a switch we can hit, but you're not gonna want to hit it because you're not gonna be able to do it. Yeah, you'll see. Now we pull this block out. I guess that little face is the fire temple emblem. I don't know why they didn't use like the actual fire medallion emblem. That would have made a lot more sense instead of that creepy face. I don't know. It's weird. Alright, it doesn't really look like you can make it, but you can climb that. Like I said, it didn't really look like you could, but you can. So what that switch does, it extinguishes this flame over here, so we can actually climb up that fence. But it's very, the time of it is very quick, so you don't have very much time. So the best thing to do is to drop a bomb down there, get as close to it as you can, and when it explodes, you'll be able to just make it. Yeah. Nice and simple. If you had hit the switch down there, it would have already been way lit by the time you even got close. So don't waste your time at that. Oh, another thing I always liked about this dungeon is how that part of the fence is on fire, and I don't know if this is just my imagination, but I think part of it actually looks burnt to me, like it looks like redder, while this part up here is like bluer. Like I don't know if that's just me that sees that, but I always saw that as a kid, like the part that's on fire is hotter, and this is bluer and cooler. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Okay, here's a slightly non-linear part of the dungeon, the boulder maze. This is a giant room, which is actually literally a maze, and they got boulders crawling around. The only points of interest are literally on the outside, so stay pretty much on the outside and try to avoid the blocks, the boulders, if you can. There's a few things in this room we want to get, such as this Goron, who probably has a key, as most of them have had so far. Are you releasing me? Am I free to go? I'll tell you a secret for saving me. In this temple, there are doors that fall down when you try to open them. When one of these doors starts to fall, move. If you use a sample of the Goron's special crop... See, there's that expression again. I was probably very fucking confused as a kid. You can break it. I'm like, what's a crop? Like a whipping crop? I'll use that. Yeah, so far they've all had small keys. I think most of them do. Not all, but... Therefore... Alright, so let's keep moving along the outside. Nothing here. Oh. There's a Goron up there. Don't think we can reach him. Let's see. or just walk straight into the boulder. Luckily, they go in the opposite direction, so you don't just get stuck in an endless loop. They thought ahead. There's a door right there, but we haven't explored the whole room yet, and so let's... Oh my god, my computer... Oh, I looked away for 1 second. Oh, this looks like something here. What do we got? Here's it. Yeah. Oh, wait, is this... No, this is not where I came at. What we got? Probably another go-around, it looks like. Yep, that's what it is. Let's get our lovely tip. Are you releasing me? Am I free to go? Let me tell you a secret as a reward for releasing me. When you are on fire, you can put it out by swinging your sword or by rolling forward. Did you know that? So this go-around just taught us how to stop, drop, and roll. That's good. At least they're thinking of the kid. They're thinking of the children who are on fire. And yet another small key. Okay, so I guess it's not quite as linear as I thought, but it's pretty linear. Like, you pretty much just gotta clear out the room before you use this next small key. It's not that... Alright, we can hear a Skulltula, though. Oh, the wall even kind of glitched there, so we can kind of see it. So we can bomb this wall. I've never seen that happen before. For a second, you could see the Skulltula through a clipped wall there. But, excuse me. Oh, you're gonna die. Ugh. That was weird. The music went weird there. It's like one of the tracks like crapped out. I think that's everything in the maze that we can do. I think this is close back to the beginning where we started. Yeah, that's the door we came in. So let's find that one door again. I guess we can try going through the... maybe not. Okay, maybe I'll just kill myself. Oh, God. Find the door, find the door, find... Oh, no, don't go. Run the other way. Don't go that way. Don't go in there. I always love these little windows. See, that's the thing about this dungeon. Like, the actual architecture is very Islamic. Like, those the little rounded triangle windows that kind of look like a mosque. So I think they were trying to go for that feeling here, but yeah, I guess they decided too late that it might have been offensive to somebody. I don't know. Like I said, I'd like to get the opinion of an actual Muslim about this. Like, aside from the chant being set to music, is this at all offensive? Like, this place in general? I'm not sure. So we have a locked door and a barred door and an eye switch. Well, we know rule 1 of Zelda Ocarina of Time is we see a locked door. Let's go for the other options first. So that opens that door. So let's go there. I'm gonna be very careful, because if you aren't careful, you will be doing some backtracking into previous rooms. You probably guess what this is. Usually, and we got the map to Dodongo's Cavern once again. No, it's actually, and yes, the map. I want to point out one of the interesting thing about this actual particular dungeon, because I think this dungeon is a great example of how the game developers were paying attention to the relationship between inside a dungeon and the overworld. Because if you'll remember, when we were in Death Mountain Crater, to get to the Fire Temple, you fell down that big hole with the ladder. And so we were very deep into the volcano. But if you remember, on the outside, there were those two little cone-shaped pillars. One of them had a heart piece on top. So I think if you look, starting at the third floor, you can kind of see two basic round halves to the temple, which to me, oh my God, stop! Which to me seem like, well, first of all, they always look like donuts to me, but I think they're supposed to correspond with those two cone shapes on the outside of the dungeon. So I think that's a very cool little detail about this dungeon, that they were actually paying attention to what the outside looks like as well as the inside, because you can see the top floor. That would be where those cones come out to near the top, I guess. So that's cool. So good attention to detail in this game. most of the dungeons in this game. The Forest Temple didn't really, because we couldn't really see too much of it from the outside, other than there was a giant mansion. But we didn't really see like how far back it went, so they didn't really have that same relationship with the overworld in the Forest Temple. But we will see it again in other dungeons, and I'll be sure to point it out, because I think it's kind of neat. Alright, where does this take us? Oh. This room. This is an interesting room. So what happens is you're going to jump onto this platform here, and Link's going to be like, oh shit, man. You got to start running away from the firewall. And after all, you're my firewall. Oh, I got another hiccup, sorry. And this is actually that room we were just in to get the dungeon map, which is right there in this little caged area. We're just now in the actual main part of the room. But you know what I'm saying? Like, think about being like, I was 6 when this game came out and I played it. Think about like going through this kind of like exotic looking place and hearing those voices. Like, the thing is, the video I saw that said setting it to music was offensive, they had Muslims actually listen to this, and they couldn't make out every single word. Like the audio, you know, what do you call it? Compression of the N64, you know, kind of distorts it a little bit. So you can't really make out everything, but they could pick out words and phrases and to kind of know like what it sort of meant. So that's kind of interesting. All right, so here's an interesting part of the dungeon. You're gonna look up there, and Navi's gonna like flip a shit. So you must be thinking, okay, so this must be Scarecrow's song, and you'd be right. All right. So there's Pierre, somehow not bursting into flames. He's made of frickin' straw. Ooh, almost thought I didn't make that. Now here's something I never did as a kid, because you don't think to look up there, or you know, most people don't think at this point would even naturally have the Scarecrow song. Oh my god, that is nightmare fuel right there. That smile. I don't think most people would think to have the Scarecrow song at this point, because you wouldn't have too much of a reason to go to Lake Hylia yet, so you wouldn't think of it. Like if you were just, you know, like trying to make your way through this game. So I think most people probably missed this, especially in their first time through. I mean, I don't think I even did this until the 3DS version came out, to be perfectly honest with you. But it's very important for 100%ing. There's nothing you need here to complete the dungeon. There are no small keys, no dungeon items. There are only gold sculptures. And there's 2 of them, actually. So if you're trying to 100% this, and you have no idea that these rooms even exist. Well, you do know they exist because they're on the dungeon map, and you'll see, like, you know, rooms. If you get the dungeon map, you'll see rooms that you haven't visited. Like this will lead us to one of the donuts. You'll see in a second. You know, you hear the gold sculpture. This is one of the donuts, as I mentioned before. I don't know. Alright, but yeah, there's the second gold sculpture. That makes 3. So I think most likely as a kid I went to this dungeon every time and only got, you know, 3 of the gold sculptures, because the other 3 are pretty much in the path of the main dungeon. And these 2 are most certainly not. This room, I think, only leads to a chest of rupees. It has nothing important. So if you need rupees, or I assume that's what's up there, I honestly couldn't tell you, you could just leave. There's no other reason to be here other than that. Now, getting back is a little tricky because they don't really give you a nice way to go back. Let's see here. Yeah, see, like the elevator rides already. They're just kind of. Oh, okay, that works. Wow. Alright, I actually didn't take any damage. Usually you take a lot of damage because you miss or something, or you end up all the way on the floor, so you have to go through the firewall room again. But no, that actually worked out pretty nicely for me. Torch slug. get rid of it. Oh. Oh, we're having a great Deku Tree moment where there's something on the floor and Navi's trying to point it out to us. Oh my god. What? There we go. Skylar, I hear Goron voices down there. Goron, what? Hold on to that thought. Let me get a bomb out of here. Alright? Hold on to that thought for just 1 second. Oh. I thought I glitched through walls there. It looked like I was going out of bounds. So here's the switch and another Goron. And if you go through to the other side, you will see that it is that room where I was with the torch slugs originally that we saw on the block, which has now reset itself. I didn't know it did that. Huh, okay. Well, what do you have to say for yourself? Are you releasing me? Am I free to go? Here's a tip for rescuing me. Somewhere in this temple, you are sure to meet up with some creatures that dance as they attack. Arrows won't hurt them. How dare they? Guess I can just throw the thing away. Looks like you might need some of that Goron special. There's that thing again. That's all I have to tell you. What's that? Yeah.
You going out today?
No.
Okay, because I parked behind you. That's
Okay. Interruptions. Smokey. Yeah, that was just my dad. He just wanted to tell me he parked behind me. What? The hookshot doesn't work on this wall? Wow. What a rip. So effectively that provides us a shortcut if you need to, for some reason, come back, and I guess there are points where you would need to quickly come back without having to push that block again. And yeah, this just makes a nice quick way back up if you need to. And of course this torch slug respawns, so you could be... I'm playing like shit. You can see down from here. Isn't that the room where we saw Darunia? I guess I should have... Oh, hide. No, 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 die. So that thing I said about this being linear, yeah, maybe never mind. Okay, this is one of those dancing things that one Goron mentioned. So what's gonna happen here? I'm not really able to explain it as it's happening because it's gonna be pretty fast. And knowing how I'm playing today, I may just completely mess it up. Alright, we see another scary face thing, so let's hit it with a hammer. That's probably why they made them scary, because you'd want to hit them with the hammer, I suppose. That's clever. And here's our... This switch looks rusted. Good, thank you. And right away, like if you had come into this door from the get-go, you would have seen the boss key chest right there in front of you, but you would have had no way to get there. That was not a hint. That was just you being a selfish pig. Alright, getting ready to fight some. Oh, it's getting very hot. Oh, it's hot. Oh, it's very hot.